Death can know. If it wasn't for the jade Bodhi, he doesn't want to go into this magic either. The most important thing right now, it's about gaining the trust of the department. That. He put the medicine in his hand in front of the office. Excited to say, I can see your hands in a cold sweat. So I gave you the egg. The department looks very grateful. With the poison in her body. This one doesn't work. She raised her head in disbelief and said, I can accept your good intentions. But this duo-knit ovary is a pharmaceutical knit too. This grade pharmaceutical knit. It doesn't work for me at all. Most likely, she refused. He immediately smiled confidently at her. Well, I'm not sure. I don't want to try to know. The police officer stared at his smile. I can see you laughing in such a mysterious way. She's also a little curious. Could it be that this pill, using special techniques to train Ra, it may have a different effect than other drugs? Maybe you should try to see if it works. That. She put her hand in her mouth and swallowed the medicine. Down. Just swallowed down. She certainly noticed the difference. It just went in the mouth. There was a very hot temperature in her body. A positive attribute medicinal knitting tablet will conflict with the negative property principle in her body. But this medicine is turned into a hot gas. It's very different from the sun. It's even warmer. It also has a very good cardiovascular effect. The most important thing is, it doesn't conflict with her energy. It's also possible to completely absorb this medicine. This is the dream. You can't imagine it either. Most likely, I saw her expression with a smile. Of course he succeeded. Smile recall. He glanced at her, curious to ask how the $1 billion. Our medicine is different from others. Right. The police department immediately applauded him. I can't believe a young person like you. There is such a magic spell. I think in a few years, you will surely be honored in heaven. I'm sure most people don't notice what she says. He doesn't need a few more years of fame. And now he's floating all over the world. It's just that she doesn't know. The current will is from which mouth to know information about the jade Bodhi. That. He kept a smile on his face telling her. What is the problem later on in mail? Absolutely not hidden. I will definitely think of a way. Hear this word. The office couldn't help but be startled. The words in his words have their own meaning. But her body, she is completely transparent. even though his knitting technique worked for her. But she couldn't take the risk of seeing him for too long. Most likely, I looked at her carefully. The mind is quiet waiting. But in my heart I kept screaming. She quickly said, out of the shadow of the jade. That's right now. Suddenly a big laugh came out, haha. The boy finally showed up. The Lord has been waiting for you all day. End words. To people suddenly landed from the air. A pretty body photo. They couldn't be more familiar. It's Don Pepper. Next to her is a teenager. There was always a devilish smile on her face. The two brothers were immediately startled. What happened before is still there. The two of them don't know what to do. This side. Most likely, I saw two people get angry. Just a little more. He could have opened his mouth and told him about the jade. Apparently only half of them came at this time. It's worth dying for. It's just that. You should continue to play the role. Tell you're obedient. He pretended to rush to the side of the building. Hiding behind her scared expression touched billions. People who bully me come back and help me beat them. The words that just came out surprised everyone. This one changes face color too fast. The blue shirt has just arrived. The most sure of all forms of fear. I immediately looked at Dawn. Doubt asked the lady. This is Big Liver. The sky bullied you yesterday. What are you talking about? So there's no gas. Even the look on the sand is a little dazed. This person is not very arrogant. Why is it like this today? He was embarrassed to answer his father. That's the one who bullied me yesterday. But he's not like yesterday. The man immediately froze in the cold. Just be this kid. The Lord will be angry with you today. No matter how cowardly you are, or the retarded, you have sinned against the people of the 7 kingdoms, relying only on his own body. Who can hurt the taste of the lamb seed? It is also worth taking action on your own. Department immediately. I immediately turned my eyes to the front. Curious to defeat Lin Thien Vu. Not even the third-rate family you're fighting against. Most likely to hear her. Immediately broke out in a cold sweat. The innocent boy can't act anymore. He would laugh if I said, if he is kind, believe him. The two brothers heard this. grudgingly shaking his head. If you lie, you should find a reason. Number. There's a scene where you said he was injured. Who can believe you? Of course the police wouldn't believe it. He glanced furiously at the jade. If you admit it from the beginning, maybe I'll forgive you. But you're still lying. Prove that you see me as a fool. Was like that. If you cause a disaster, deal with it yourself. When she finished, she turned and left. I don't even want to look back. Most likely watching her back leave. The cold face threatens people. The innocent man also immediately disappeared. My eyes are on you. You will not come soon. Late not to come. Again deliberately come at this time. Destroy the good old man. Don Pepper can be heard trembling endlessly. Hiding behind your back, man. But the man calmly stood there. Looking closely at the person he scattered, he could not help but exclaim. Of course harmful. A paragraph. The top level can emit this atmosphere. But he met him today. Smile and laugh. It is a shame you met me today. The first disciple of the King of Medicine. Severe shock pulse. The King of Medicine is serious. That guy is different from that guy. The prince is the next heir. Of the medicine alone. Maybe you can hear a little thought. Local pharmacy. It's the medicine that's bringing down the 7 kingdoms. Honor is only the first. New teachers can get it. The first to practice medicine and medicine. It's not just the famous knitting technique. Reading has no competition. You could say the world's first murderer. Saving people is the first in the world. Death is in the palm of my hand. He is the true king of medicine. That's why there is the name medicine alone. I think it's probably the most humbling laugh. So I mean your boy. But also understand the unique Sao. Withdraw words. He immediately rushed the attacker to the stern side. Nang Theo, a thunder of terror echoed through the eye machine. Disappear the shadow. Then, the man who had not yet reacted was blown away, spitting out a sip of fresh blood. Acceptance 122 poles. Don saw the scene. It is not self-conscious to tremble. The relentless fear. Most likely, one side glanced at her a little. I can't help but laugh coldly. You only rely on men. Even if you change a man, the result will still be the same. Finished talking. It's probably a cold laugh going forward. Just left, Don standing there blankly. Suddenly now in the rubble. Trying to stand up to someone. Blood on my face. It's a cold laugh to a fast-paced sound. afraid that, counted as the first man. The sky is perfect. Probably the most annoying one. Laughing and saying, he was beaten into a pig's head and still laughed. This is the first time we've seen it. If the prince can laugh, it proves that the prince is sure to win. In the palm of your hand. Most likely the most contemptuous laugh to say the victory. I know that you can learn to knit. They are also good at poison. But what kind of poison? Can it also touch me? Can you catch up with me? Suddenly flashed in his stern eyes. Laugh for an hour. The average person has no knowledge at all. My master Poison King is respected by the 7 families. If you use poison, you're going to die that much. The 7 kingdoms can scare you. Just finished. I am now slowly growing up. Just for a moment, force in hand circulation, gradually transformed. To the end appear be a light-colored difference red, yellow, and blue cross each other. It is most likely seen in the condensed eye. Can't help but be stunned. In his mouth muttered this little boy used poison. Deeply unpredictable. Be a little careful. Martial Arts Legends 7 Tai Van La Chuang. End words. The twin heads of the strict uniform emit bright blue BA. It's like the strongest storm in the world. You don't have one right now. In a cold smile. The power of the king of medicine takes poison as its master. There was no speed and no defense. It's a pity that I met him today. He won't hit his target. But now I remember something wrong. Let's face this disciple. It should be someone who has been working for a long time. When is it the turn of this young man? So there's only one possibility. This boy was taken out as bait to spy on him. Now around here, there will surely be false gods. Watch it all. The plan is not bad. So this battle can't be won. Or you will have to reveal your identity. I still have a decent look at this time. Hubris laughing loud. Ha ha, little boy. You don't have to admit yourself. Its speed is very fast or sow. If you have the courage, come here and fight. Most probably still standing there. Calm down and keep your eyes on. Short side laugh, ha ha. You think I'm stupid? Run inside to get poisoned. If you have the courage, come here. I don't believe you can stay in there all your life. Waiting for your strength to run out. Then I come to collect you. If you think it's 7. This chef is a defensive martial artist. Then you're wrong. The Lord will give you light today. What's called the most perfect martial art? End the tornado that's surrounding. He immediately scattered, turned into 3 streaks of light rushing towards the most solid of all. Probably the most amazing. Try to avoid this one immediately. Serious outfit here is excitedly controlling this one. Laugh out loud. Hey ha ha ha, boy, have you seen it? 7 Tai Van La Chuang of Pharmacy. We are fully integrated. No matter how you do it, there is only undoubted death. Probably the most. Look at him showing off all the power of this one. Most voluptuous mouth provocation successful. Type of malicious user. If it is the strongest, it will be the weakest. Once the poison is released, it is the weakest of existence. On the basis of false powers with practice vi. The same level can't do anything to you. So in 10 ancient emperors, no one uses the monarchs. Wait until you break this one. Make your medicine step on 1 foot. Out of 7 seconds out, it is time for you to cry. First of all, you should stop him a little. Most certainly not a word. I firmly believe that he is afraid of growing arrogant. Don't you think you are a little stronger than normal people? You can easily bully the people of the 7 kingdoms. Let me tell you, you may not care about other people, but if you've poked your way into our pharmacy, then you will surely die. The most likely person to hear this is immediately suspicious. When will you get the electricity? This lunatic doesn't have to automatically find the door. He said he wanted revenge. Why did you start a fight again? This pot is not accepted. So today, even if I have to pretend to lose 7, he must also teach him a lesson. Let him quit his pride. He immediately stopped the act of avoidance. Stand still. To see this scene. Strictly immediately pleased. Grasp sister. Immediately move the force of a chuang to the Y. Right now. The most sure in the eye condensed tear the wind rushed. Towards the poisonous smoke. Strict women CY act. In the eyes of terror, he seems to know what he wants to do, but not in time to avoid. Immediately strangled by aggressive Y. But most likely in his eyes flashed close to the bastard. It is good to use poison. Why did you risk your life today? This moment, most likely, it was poisoned into the body. There was fresh blood in his eyes. But he doesn't care either. A foot kicked into the body of the stern. According to this stone, the sound of crumbling from the stern. At the same time, spitting out a sip of blood, muttered the madman in his terrified eyes. 123 poisoned to death. Most probably right now, the poison has seeped deep into the body. It looks very terrorist. But I didn't notice a little bit. Mouth still smile. The steward's clenched head flashed with frenzy. Ha ha. I am a crazy person. Even if you have to die, I have to kill you first. Revenge for yourself. Just finished. Probably the most serious once again. Punch 2. It's almost as if you want to bring the bones of the stern dam to shatter. To feel the pain. I couldn't help but cry out. Most definitely, they don't stop. Again, one by one hit down. Two of his brothers, Tung Jia and Don, stood beside him. It's scary to see this. He is now poisoned. But now it's a strange terror. Don looks a little sorry. She hopes he lives. He was poisoned by the king of medicine. This can't be solved either. Of course, it is a pity to die. At the most probable time, it was like wanting to beat him to death. He scratched his eyebrows again. Not you say. The martial arts of medicine is the world champion, Sao. You're not going to die. Why today we are endless. Watch you die happily. Or Lao Tzu could die happily. Suddenly there was a shout of stop. And Chuang beat towards the most evil. He could not escape and was thrown away. Then a picture of the green-haired old man appeared. Quickly come to the side seriously. Let him drink a healing nick. Then look to the surest side of the distance. But right now, on the roof nearby, there are two people calmly observing everything. A man with red hair of Yu Min Cup and another. It is the nature of the forest. 5 elders achieved their goal. Looking down with contempt. They say people are afraid of the strong. But they're afraid of the strong who don't need their lives. This young man risked his life to fight France. Or you could say the essence of medicine. If 6 countries confront the power of medicine, they don't need such a network. The power of medicine alone has the power to stand up, Sao. I really like the character of this boy. Ha ha. The dead man standing next to him did not object. Nod to the caption. Now we know why the universe was defeated. I met a crazy guy who didn't want to live like that. It is also difficult to strengthen the Khan without defeat. But how many people in the world are like this boy? When you meet them, you can't take your life to bet. Most people think of, the first is to run away. Escape from death. It's too late for them to react. So the king of medicine, electricity, still lets people be afraid. 5 elders Yu Min Cup looked at the most popular. The surgeon shook his head. Sorry. This boy's one-body energy is extremely powerful. If I could teach my disciples a lesson, It will eventually become a name. But now it's been poisoned by the king of medicine. His poor life didn't last long. He is no longer interested in watching the play. The body immediately leaves. I watched him fly away. Immediately shout out to the 5 elders. This teenager is not necessarily ordinary Kirsao. The 5 elders stopped for a moment in the air, glancing at him. Laughing must be as cunning as foxes, treacherous as a wolf, as dangerous as a snake, as wicked as a tiger. Don't tell me this kid doesn't look the same. Not afraid of death. But with Kier, it's a lot different. Li and Death Tian. You know, it's 100 times worse. This time he didn't stay. In the blink of an eye disappeared without a trace. Death stood there for a moment. 5 elders are the pillars of Yumin Cup, the strongest force. But most likely, you can make the 5 elders abstain like that. How scary is it after all? Talk about the bottom. 2 brothers at the moment. I am very worried about the worst. But they can't do anything either. Not to mention why now. Was poisoned by the king of medicine. The power of medicine has also come. He definitely can't escape. Dong Thien Ba helplessly sighed and shook his head. He looked at the injured disciple, not in anger. You can't immediately kill the worst. Is lying motionless on the ground. He looked at the order. The first P. You are here to take care of my children. Knitting Pepper is named. Immediately terrified of him. Are you telling me why? I can hear anger screaming loudly. My child's shit. Because you just came out, it was injured in the form it is now. If you don't come, who will? Don saw him angry. Immediately stand up, ran to the side of the grave unconscious. People take care of him. Entrusted finished. Take your feet in the safest direction. Just go and say, you Dante take good care of it. I will make you live and not die. Most likely, he's pretending to die right now. Feel someone coming. In my heart, not from resentment. He was poisoned and dying. This head. It's not like you want to kill him yourself. Even though his body is 5 magical qualities, but a touch of the Divine Master. He is still seriously injured. If you use the insect principle, it can damage 6 or 5 of his organs. If that's really unbearable, you can only reveal your identity. Just in time, he felt the Kier coming in front of him. Suddenly, the light in my hand glowed again. In the heart silently lamented broken. It's not the sword boy. Come here. In his mind, he only thinks of the sky. By not accumulating perfume, you will not be able to be in this place. As if to prove the point. At this point, the two brothers in the distance are coming. Makes a mocking sound, ha ha. We see the power of medicine alone. Tongue medicine. How good a character is the elder. Then Ra is just a big bully. 120 for Bodhi Jade translation. I can hear people coming. Of course, I guess not wrong. He is the son of the sword. Smiling in places people can't see. Len secretly dragged Van World. The name Kier can see. Your identity will be revealed. I can't accept friends right now. We can only wait for a better time. But seriously, look at the two of you. I heard the mockery in their words. The face immediately turned blue. Two eyes flashing out spark of anger. Before, no one had ever dared to talk so insolently to him. Maybe you can't be angry. Then he looked at the two men shouting. Where did the bad boy come from? Even the old man wants the bar. The magic sword is now behind us. Lord, look seriously in front of you. Cannot help but reluctantly dissuade the sky. This has nothing to do with us. Don't put your hand in. Thank God it is not like that, resolutely said the 8 elders. This is the dance. It's not the domain of his pharmacy. We don't have to be afraid of him either. The sword immediately sighed. This person, after the war in the city of Kier. I like to defend the weak. I can't help being raped. He learns what he doesn't learn. Go back to school, the worst. The devil ran away when he finished. And he's the representative of that sword servant. Can be as exciting as the most extraordinary sow. Though I think so. But the sword can't be ignored. Thank heaven, Yang. We have to move forward to protect him. Strictly the elder. There are 8 elders of the sword. Custom sword. I didn't understand what was desecrated. Please forgive. Seriously, I'm a little surprised to hear that the sword servant has come to this place. Keep your eyes on the two. I don't respect the cold. Ra is the sword servant. I don't blame you for being so overbearing. Stop it, old man. Sword servant, I won't end up with this kid myself. Even though this boy has been poisoned by our children. Not long to live. The sword can be heard. Can't help but laugh contemptuously. The old fox, of course. But warn them not to. He raped a small man. But right now, he doesn't have a face. Laughing and laughing. Strict tongue elder master export cow map. Normal people don't have AI as an opponent of the order. Really? This young man who dared to confront the order deserved to die. Listen to hear. He was finally satisfied with his intention to leave. Carrying the whole seriously comatose. I don't know if they live or die. I don't want to say a word to you two. Thank heaven and young heir. He looked so arrogant and angry. These bastards only bully the weak every day. It's made 7 of our families lose face. The final sword. I can't stand the excitement of the sky. Give him his head. Anger is okay. I thought I was a monster. Everything can be managed. Did you know it was dangerous before? This king of medicine is not like the demon 7. The devil 7 knows how to calculate. Anyone who encounters anything can calculate it. And this king of medicine just doesn't like it. Even if you're from the 7 kingdoms. He also does not respect and poison. Thank heaven and young beaten to wake up. I heard the words of the sword. Immediately amazed. That person is so scary. I don't blame the 7 kingdoms for always being careful. Pharmacy electric. Suddenly at this moment came the woman's cry. You are the master of the sword servant Sao. Song Ingok Caca was poisoned by the king of pharmacy. Please save him. The sky and the sword can be heard. Immediately look back. I saw a girl with tears on her face. Hugging in hands teen. Face full of fresh blood unknown to life and death. The sky is not willing to see it. Looking for the sword, I asked the 8 elders. Can it still be saved? The sword sighed and shook its head. The poison of the king of medicine. I can solve the word. Otherwise, the king of medicine will not be able to. Other people are so afraid. Tian Yang, you can't worry about that kind of stuff. Thank heaven and Yang. I don't care anymore. I can only look at you and understand you. I can't help you. Please ease the pain. Brother and sister. He heard it immediately on his sad face. Just die like that. Tung Thien Ba is suffering right now. Think about it, brother. Because we have this ending. Let me take his body to the grave. Later Song Jia. It's our favorite family. Suddenly right now. A woman's voice echoed from nowhere. He was poisoned. 7 Tai Van La Chuang of the King of Medicine. Full body drama. If you touch it, he will also be poisoned to death. Give him to me, and I'll cure him. I can't wait for people to react. The police immediately sent people away. I just left my two brothers standing there. Most likely, I'm in a coma right now. When he heard that the department came to the rescue, he immediately smiled. These 3 poisons are the world's poisons. Once absorbed into the body, it will fuse together. Toxicity is constantly changing. You can say the freakish multivariate. Out of heaven his great determination can be dissolved. Together with the medicine of the remedy Ra, it is also possible that the jade Bodhi can be removed. So he could very quickly see the jade Bodhi. What I need? The department is currently a path that brings the most subversive back to the slums. Put him on the bed. Then take inside Ra a bottle of medicine. I didn't say 2 words and poured them into my mouth. When she took it out, probably in bed, I can smell its taste. Let me know if you guess wrong. It's the jade Bodhi. He's looking for 1,000. When the jade liquid flowed in his mouth, I can feel it. The power of life is growing. Spill out the whole body. It makes your body comfortable. But at this time he is also a little grumpy. This is what he's looking for. And now it's in his mouth. 125 looks inclined to become. 3 hours later, the Buddha's body was spread all over Track's body. He pretended to shiver. One side observes the situation. I think he finally reacted. Immediately help him sit up and force the poison out. Probably the most popular Lao is Theo Lao. Now pretend not to have the power to decide at will. As soon as you feel it, she brings the extremely powerful Korean sound into his body. I knew I wanted to get rid of all the poison. But the poison in his body was soon dissolved. The poison of the king was so terrifying. If it's so easy to subtract, it is not feared by many. Then, look at her tame appearance. Seems to understand about the poison of Yang Vuong. Feel the chi vowel force. More and more are coming into my body. Most likely, it doesn't feel right. If you let her see you pretending, your identity seems to have been revealed. I think it is most likely that the world immediately mobilizes resources. Absorb all of her energy into it. It makes you think your body has absorbed it. After feeling the poison in you, the worst was pushed out of the office. Finally, hands down to help him lie down. In the eyes of doubt, I can't believe it. The poison of the king of medicine is becoming more and more bizarre. A young disciple took the poison. It takes so much effort. Probably in bed. I can hear her doubts. Can't help but laugh. Of course it takes effort. After all, most of her energy. It's transferred into his body. It's all dissolved. About half an hour later. I think most people feel the time is right. I decided to open my eyes and wake up. He looked at the woman in front of him, pretending to hold his head. Not awake to say, "Where am I?" A touch of a billion, you're finally back. I thought you weren't paying attention to me anymore. His expression is beyond doubt. Face in amazement. This man just escaped death. The first thing after waking up. I'm not glad I didn't die. He was glad to see her again. She's a little confused. But remember what happened before. There's anger in my heart. Who says I'm not angry anymore? You can beat the city like that. It's also a sham practice. Pretend to be weak in front of me. Tell me what purpose you have. Most likely I heard her question. In a little bit of wonder. In my head very quickly turned around, pretending to be naive. What more could I have? It's not the first day you met me. You were very aggressive, Sao.